Hi, this is Reese from CreataCRM, and this video is going to be showing you the activities and tasks and what they are. Activities and tasks have been around since the 80s, and it's something that a lot of CRM users are familiar, but people who are new to CRMs, it's a very, very common question is what is an activity and what's a task? So we're going to go through them and what the two different elements are and how it relates to you. So in here, we just give you an overview. An activity at the end of the day is like time. So what that is, a call, meeting, sales note, emails, all that is actual time that you've done with the client itself, which are kind of activities you have done. So that gives you a nice timeline. It puts it on a calendar. So anything you do with that person, you can time it. And if you take a call, you make a note. That's kind of a time on that, and it's a recording of what activities you have done on a customer or a client or whatever it is. Now, task, what we've done with that, we've kind of followed Outlook. And a lot of CRMs, if you're familiar with, they have made tasks and activities one place, which is nice. But what we have done is we've decided to split it up. And why we did that is that we found out that over the experience we've had with doing activities and tasks as one thing is that we started to get confused. So we've separated it like Outlook. And so active tasks are pretty much in here is like a to-do, a follow-up, reoccurring task. So things like I want to reoccur to do this task every month. Yes, you could do recurring meetings, but we found that we want to keep that in like an Outlook calendar thinking model versus, hey, these are things I need to do and I want to checklist them. So we've gone down the Outlook thinking path where you've got your to-dos and tick boxes, and then you've got your calendar activities. So we're going to talk about that with the follow-ups and reoccurrings, and that's definitely important. So for example, I want to call someone, I make a follow-up to remind myself that I need to call this person. And then when I call them, I make a note, which is an activity. Kind of they work hand in hand. Now sometimes what happens is when you make a task, you may not go, I called them, but I didn't get through them. You leave a message, but you didn't clear it off until you actually get to them. So it makes sense to have a kind of a separate experience of, yes, I have actually contacted that person. I may have made 3 notes of 3 calls about that. So I hope that makes sense, but let's show how that works. Okay, we're in Creator right now, and this is startup screen. You can change your startup screen. That's probably another video somewhere else. But we're going to click on the search button and look up a customer for an activity. So let's do an activity on a customer. I'm going to look on Bondi, choose a customer. Customer contacts have the same experience of choosing an activity. So what we're going to do is we'll go through them right now. You have these actions up the top, very easy, that you have in front of you. For example, a note. It's just simple a note that you can put in. This is a note. Test note that you put in there. That's just a note. It can be a call, whatever it is, but it's a note. And sometimes the rule of a note is that it just needs a subject and a note, nothing else. We don't want to confuse a person. They want to just go, I just want to make a quick note. It's the good old ACT days in the old days where they go, I just want to make a note, keep it simple. I don't want any more visualizations, any more actions I need to do. So note's a good thing to make a note on. So when you make a note, you can clear that, and what it would do, it will make an activity type called note, and it will bring it across. It will put the time for you, and that's it. It's nice and simple for you to do. Next one is a call. A call is a pop-up screen. It will mark it as an activity type call. So it's going to be a follow-up, whatever it is. And it is like, this is blah, blah, blah. Same thing, you click on save, and if you now refresh that, it's now made it marked it activity type as a call. So nice and simple, but activity types are what type of activity did you do? You can see there's a meeting, job activity, all these extra activities you can do, and you can create your own type of activities for reports, and you can group them up. What activities have you done, and put in the report. We'll show you. Okay, and again, another button, meeting. You're going to have a meeting with someone. You can schedule it across. Really simple, 24th. Keeping it 1 hour, you can change it to 2 hours and put it across. That simple. Nothing complicated about that. And when you push it across, we're going to refresh that button. Meeting along here, 2 hours for the meeting. So that is how you make an activity type. Now, there are other things in here, like email. Now we link Office 365, and that's another topic. You should look for the videos for Office 365 on how we integrate as well. But you can send emails through Outlook, and it attaches as an email attachment. Other things, we do have our own email system in here. The mental note, really important. People do get confused. When we send an email, it goes through our system, doesn't go through your outbox and Outlook, but it records in here. But it's really, really quick. You click on here and you have your own templates that you can design in here. We won't go through that, but there's a quick email template that you can do, and merge that email and it will send out an email, and that will attach that email. Won't do it because I'm not too sure if set up in the system. It will attach that email of that person that you send an email to them. So that is the activity side of the fence that you have. The next thing you can do with activities, as I mentioned, but right from the start I said activities are time. What you've got here is these little play buttons. So we do have, with activities, a lot of people that are working home, it's really important now, they want to do an activity for this customer. You can press the play button here, start the timer, and you can now create activities with the play button. So if you ever see the play buttons anywhere in the database, that's like it's like you creating a time, like how I created a new note and did that. This is pressing play, choosing what you're doing, an activity types meeting. I'm going to do a sales call, or maybe a sales, just a sales meeting. You time it and you can make your notes in here. Going, this is really cool. And you've now timed it for 38 seconds, and it keeps on going until you go through here. So you can see there's a timer clock on here. You can click on that single thing that pops up, a slider button across here, and you can press stop. So that is really cool if you just want to create an activity. You can press play. And that's really important when you're working at home and you're doing a quote. You can, if you see a play button anywhere in your system, you can press play to do that. So for example, go to a job, and just going to open up the job dashboard and went to any job in here, and I can press play on this job. You can press play on the jobs. You can press you can create tasks in here and press play on tasks. So you can press a play. Now I've already got a play button saying new timer, add to current timer, switch timer, which I'm doing that. You can play now on, for example, a task on a job. So it means that you can create a job in the system to do something and then time on it, and it just brings all the activities across. So that's kind of activities is equal to time. So that helps out with, hope you understand that part. That's pretty much it, really. It's that simple. Now, so in activities, you've got little things that we have. We're going to go back to Bondi Rescue. You can, for example, do an activity follow-up, and you've got a nice way to put an activity in here and do extra stuff, notifications as well. And that means you can create an activity, link it to customers, give you more options in the tab with follow-up activity. You do a recurrence, which we've put recurrence there because the old way of doing things, people would like reoccurring activities, like treating it like tasks, but it's something that is inherited from old systems, and you can put surveys. We'll go through that. Probably not the right video for all that information. The next thing we want to do is show you how it looks in calendar. So once you do all these activities, we can show you that you have activity calendar. We're going to untick and create activities. And this is the calendar side of the fence that you have. So again, we're going to go to the CRM drop-down menu, choose calendar, and you can tick activities to look what you have. Now, if we're just going to choose today's date, the 10th, and you can see all these activities. So here's a calendar system that's all later. So I'm going to explain a little bit about this calendar. We're going to expand the setting in here, and I'm going to, because it's late at night, I'm just going to put it to end date is 20, so I can see more data, and I'm going to have the intervals probably every 30 minutes. Okay, so there's all the activities that I've done. You can change the item type here, and that will show you the color coding of the activities itself. See, I've created a note for 1 hour, a follow-up here, and you can just move that around if you want to, but that's see how it's on the calendar and on the time, so you can see that you can see all your activities nicely in here as well, and you can also see your other staff members, activities in here, Bob the Builder, and admin as well. So it's a nice, good way to report to see what staff are doing, especially when they're using the timers in here and showing it up in the calendar across. So as you can see, the activities are time itself. So that works from here. Now, we're now going to talk about tasks, and we're going to be talking about what the to-dos for tasks. So a task is, if we look at a customer again, we'll go back to Bondi and choose Bondi Group Development. We're going to do a follow-up. Now, a follow-up is just simply, I need to do something for this client or anything like that. It's a task. So you see here, I've got 4 tasks. So here, that's like all the to-do lists I've got to do. I may have done this one, yep, and I may have done this one. Same is Outlook, where you can tick off and you can clear it off. Now, to create your own tasks in Create, you've got a follow-up task tab here. You select it, that's on the company and contact, and you fill in the task and say, please follow Bondi Group about payments. Okay, it's just a task that you need to do. You can say due on, it defaults to due on, it could be today, or say, no, I'm going to do it on Monday. I just realized it's Friday afternoon, I'm going to have a nice drink, and therefore do it the first thing on Monday, not at 5:30. I'm just going to change the time. So here you can change the times to probably 9 o'clock here. Now, the things you can do, you can have different activity types. It's just grouping them up. They're nice to have, and you can segment your type of activities, and you can create your own. There's a managed list here to change your own activity types, to add them, but at the moment, I'm just going to do a follow-up activity type. You don't have to do it. There's no rule. It's if you want to have a report of what type of activities you have been doing on follow-ups. By default, it's going to assign to yourself, but you can assign it to someone else like Bob the Builder. And that means he's got to do it, not you, which is great. Again, it's linked to the customer section in here. Notifications will probably default that very shortly, because a lot of our clients are just tired of pressing the extra button. Totally agree. So it should send us a notification email reminder as well. This version that I've got here is on the 1st of January, so you can see the version. So just if you haven't got it, just request an update on some of the things just to help you out. And we're going to have a time here, and we'll say 30 minutes prior to this, so it's going to be at 9:23 in 3 days' time. Remind Bob the Builder to please follow up on Bondi Rescue payments. Okay. Now you can do recurring. We're going to cover that very shortly, and there's a survey in there as well. Okay, simple as that. Save. So it puts the tasks in here, and you can remind them. Now it's going to send an email reminder. Now these little vans, you get a notification here because of the bill. You have to allow you have a heap of recipes you can choose to alert yourself, but one is notify the user when the task is for you and overdue, which is this one here. Okay, so that's on, so you can leave it on, but that's in the notification section. So we can show you more about that as well, and then you get an alert to say, hey, there's a notification that is ready to go. So that is a cool follow-up task for you to do, for Bob the Builder to do. Okay, so that's simple as that. Notice here it's in the section here, follow-up task. You can clear it off as well. Now, you also can do a reoccurring task. So let's see what that looks like. So I'm going to click on reoccurring. Now, reoccurring task is, let's say it happens a lot where you are an account manager, and every month you need to follow up Bondi Rescue, this company here, Bondi Development Group, and you want to follow them up to say, hi, how are you? How are you going? Anything I can do? You're a great client. You can see and reckon they buy a lot of information, buy a lot from you. So you really want to make sure that you get a task each month to follow up this very important client and many others. So you can live off your task of these are things I need to do and remind yourself to do that, which is pretty cool. There is a couple ways to do that. There's a follow-up task in here, and it's got a number of cool features, but I like going to the calendar because this one here, you want to know when. This kind of tells you the due date. You're going to move around it. And the one that I like is the calendar section. I'm just going to click on here, CRM calendar. Right in front of my eyes, there it is. Move my head. And I'm scheduling it to me, so it's going to be, I'll start every Monday at about 10 o'clock, create a new, you click on, good point, you click on tasks here, and you have a task calendar section. Sorry to miss that part. You got activities in the task calendar. People just requested that just to, they look at their calendar to see what do I need to do in a holistic day, month view as well. So it's kind of all these extra things a lot of our clients have asked for because they wanted it a certain way because they are customers. And so we click on new task, and we're going to say follow up, say monthly follow up. Okay, we're going to choose the customer, which is Bondi. So just type in Bondi. There you go. Puts in Bondi, the primary contact of Bondi. Task type is follow up. Now we're going to do reoccurring in here. Nope, not reoccurring. We're going to do reoccurring once a month and repeat and on. And we're going to repeat every after. We'll just do the next 12 months, okay? And so we're going to repeat every 12 months. We're going to do a follow-up task for this customer, and we're going to recur it. So what that does is it go to month calendar. It's all the way down here. Whoops, there it is, month calendar here. Okay, so you can see the view series. Now, what that does is every month on the 6th, it's going to create a reoccurring activity for that Bondi rescue for you to do. So you're going to be probably in this view here, and if you click on the CRM in the task dashboard, you've got your tasks that you're going to do, and you can see admin's got to do 4 tasks. So we're going to find out it's in the monthly follow-up on the 6th of the 9th, and what that will do is that it will, when you clear the task off, it will create another task for the 6th of the 10th, and when you clear that task off, it will change it to the 6th of the 11th, and it always will keep on creating a follow-up task, and you can see it will clear it off. So now the next group of questions you have is just reports and so forth. So with reports, with activities and tasks, we've got things like the report drop-down menu here, and we've got the dashboard for activities, and you can see all the activities. That will give you the activities for the last month, activity types, the bar chart of what they are, for example, and which users. You can just select particular users if you need to, like that, just to select them to see the users, and you can also print them out, export them into a PDF. That's the same thing with reports in dashboards in here, and tasks, same thing. You can see a group of your tasks in here. There's the dashboard that we've already shown you beforehand, which is the activity dashboards, shows you all the activities grouped in a bar chart and a pie chart, and also you've got the dashboards here as well. You've got other things which it just will cover in advanced options, as you can build your own type of activity dashboards, which is in the settings section, in developer, and you can manage your own layouts and add dashboards in there. We'll cover that in another video, and that gives you the ability to customize your own dashboards in the system itself. So that's a bit of a long video. It's almost 20 minutes, so that is a long explanation of what tasks are and activities are. That's fairly important because that's kind of just the fundamentals of the CRM, of creating notes, history, meetings of a particular time on customers and contacts, and also to-dos and tasks in your system. So I hope that helps. Please look at the other videos. There's a lot more to learning Create, as you can find. It's a bit of a journey of all the different features. It's kind of a huge feature-rich product, and you can't really take it in all at once. You just got to digest it and use the tools that are really relevant to you, and just focus on your particular goals in your business and use those particular things. But definitely tasks and activities are one of the fundamental things in the product. Talk soon. Bye.